Welcome to Live Fest Club, episode number 6. It's raw, it's real, and our guest tonight is the one and only DJ Sinister. Let's go!
I know Steve's excited about this one.
Oh my God, there's so much history.
He's been talking about this for months.
History, and friendship, man. It's fantastic. We got a lot of stories, not just about his amazing career and what he's been doing his whole life, going way back, and what he's doing right now, which is amazing. We're going to get into that too, but we also have some fun personal history. We performed together on stage in front of 15,000 folks. Matter of fact, I think the first time our band ever performed, Patrick Jira, co-host of Live Fest Club, Raw and Real, was at Live Fest.
Okay.
And we did a Tom Petty tribute, celebrating the 5th year of Tom's passing, where I asked the whole crowd to take a moment of silence. I asked everybody to turn the lights down, so all the spotlights, everything went dark. I asked 15,000 people to raise their cell phones and put on their cell phone lights, which they did. And then the next thing you heard was DJ Sinister saying, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And we went into American Girl. And then we went into Won't Back Down. And then we finished with Free Fallin'. And we were very, very well received that night.
You guys killed that, by the way.
Huh?
You guys killed that, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Well, you know, we rehearsed together on it, and it was good. And it wasn't you guys. You were up there playing guitar too, bro.
You know what I mean?
It was us.
Group effort.
Yeah. So
we need to see that again at Live Fest.
I was just a guest in the world of good intentions, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's hopefully one of many performances that we'll do together, but there's a lot of history, but we're really here to talk about you and your amazing career. And I think being a Southwest Florida local, which, is cool as it is to start with, Fort Myers guy, tell us about your climb through performing the one band, the heavy band that you were in.
Oh, yeah, Twisted Method.
Yep, Twisted Method was amazing. You were the lead singer. Tell us about that, and then we'll get into what you're doing now.
Okay, well, I'm originally I was born in Illinois, moved down to Jacksonville, Florida when I was 3. And, my parents played music their whole life, so they just packed it up and we moved. So we moved to Jacksonville, and, they played cover songs and, they had jobs and stuff on the side or whatever, and basically was just put diapers on us kind of thing. But they've been playing their whole life, so, yeah. I didn't necessarily choose this. It's just kind of it's the thing I knew the most because I was around it so long. But so I moved to Jacksonville, and they were playing shows and rehearsing Saturdays and stuff. And I was when younger, I was into acting and hip hop and stuff. So I never was really into playing and music so much. But then we moved to actually Matt Lachey.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Moved to Matt Lachey. And they got me because they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get out of here. Pulled me out of a school. I had friends and everything. But, Jacksonville's wild, dude. Yeah. So, the crowd I was hanging out with when I was 13, they're like, no. We got to get you out of here. Yeah. So, basically, that's what's happening.
And a lot of real great Southern music, Southern rock roots out of Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
Man. Unbelievable bands out of there.
Yeah, you Lynyrd Skynyrd and stuff. And, my brother, as you know.
Yeah, Greg Allman, those boys out there, Daytona, Jax area. Yeah.
Yeah, and my brother, Dustin, he used
Molly
to hang
Hatchet.
out with Billy Powell's kids and stuff. And
Limp Bizkit, too, out of Jacksonville.
Yep. Yeah. So we moved to Southwest Florida here to Matt Lachey. And, they tricked me. Like I said, they said, we're going to move to an island, and I'm thinking, the beach, I'm going to run my bike, all this stuff, and it's fishing town. It's
small fishing town,
bare people walking around with bare feet and they're just like, hey, so it was such a change for me that I didn't really know quite how to handle it coming from a big city. So, so I just started dabbling. I got a little angst because of the situation. And, I met some friends at school. And I basically got in the band because I had the equipment. I had the PA. I'm like, well, you guys are a band. And he's like, well, bring your stuff, your microphone and your speakers over. Because I was DJing at the rec center there when I was 15 or something. So I was like, all right, let me bring all my stuff. So I brought my stuff over, and then I just started singing along or whatever. And I was actually at the beginning kind of ripping off my brother Dustin's stuff because he was in a band before me, and I kind of like looked at what he was doing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna. So I kind of borrowed some of his style at first, and that was in high school, 16, and we continued to play, until I was 19 years old, and then Charlie Panaccio, who's still a best friend and
Linear. He's from he did the band Linear, right?
Yep.
And what was that fantastic hit that he had?
Sending all my love to you. Which is old skating rink music too, which I used to do.
That song was huge.
Oh, it was huge, yeah.
Yeah. So you and Charlie have had a great relationship. I mean, from friendship to management and so forth. I mean, that's how I met Charlie, was through you.
Yeah.
I said, and matter of fact, how I originally met you was iHeartRadio recommended you to me for Live Fest and said the one thing that Live Fest is missing, we're like in year 2 of Live Fest, they said the one thing it's missing is you should have a DJ in between bands, keeping the crowd pumped up and motivated. And I'm talking to Adam Bauer at iHeartRadio, and I said, you got someone you want to recommend? He said, absolutely. He goes, and I just saw him play last weekend, and he said his name is DJ Sinister. He goes, I'll make the introduction. So he actually put me in touch. Actually, now I think about it, he put me in touch with Charlie, and then I got in touch with you, and then that's a whole nother story, the way him and I connected. And it's been like both adding brothers to families, that kind of thing,
Tell me how you got the name DJ Sinister.
Well, it was kind of by default at that point because I was on a VH1 show called Daisy of Love back in the day. It was like
what's it called?
Daisy of Love. It was like a Rock of Love spinoff.
Okay.
So she had gave me that name on the show, and I had such notoriety from that I just kind of rode with it. I just kind of, decided to roll with it because I like that's how people would recognize me or whatever. Sure. Which, you know me as a person, like this Sinister, it doesn't really quite fit, I guess. I don't really know, but I mean, I am up to trouble sometimes, but so yeah, that's
sometimes.
Sometimes. So that's kind of how I got that name, and I just kind of rolled with it. But back what I was saying before of how I got started there was,
Twisted Method. Diggs, your brother, Dustin, and you were transitioning away from some of that stuff. These guys called you up and said, "Hey, bring your gear over." And then was that the genesis of Twisted Method?
Yeah, I mean that's when we were 16 years old, and we were just kind of hanging out. We were the misfits. Like I was definitely the misfit, the new guy in town, whatever. I didn't care about anything, dude. Back in school, I was just like whatever. So I was always about entertainment and whatever else I had going on. So we had got together. And, we played for years until I was like 19 years old. And then Charlie came along, and we were actually playing in Fort Myers at a place called the Buddha. It might have been something else then. I'm not sure, but it was called the Buddha. And he came in, new into town, whatever, and his family was here. So he kind of saw us and was like, what is this? And, and I put him through the ringer at first. I was like Fred Durst on some stuff. I was like, I'm the man of this, and this is what's going on. And then he was like, look, dude, if I can't get you signed in 6 months, you guys are free to go no matter what I spend on you guys to get it done. And I was like, I looked him in his eyes, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So we went ahead and did that. And then he got us a record deal on MCA at 19. And then we went straight on Ozfest.
I want to make sure when we go live with your clip here, your episode, that we get some of that footage of you and the band, at least photos of you at Twisted Method, because for that look that you had then compared to the look you have now is completely night and day different look, which shows how much flexibility you have or the ability to transition.
Yeah.
From one genre to a complete different genre too. I mean, now, we'll get into this, but now you tour with Big and Rich. I also know that I think it was last weekend or very recently, you were at the great the big country
Grand Ole Opry.
Grand Ole Opry. You were at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
performing yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Big and Rich played, and then while we're on the bus, he's like, John's like, "Hey, you ever took the lead out here and sang in front of this crowd?" And I was like, "No." So like him and Kenny was like, "Well, we're gonna get you out there tonight." So I got to get out there and sing them, and I was like, and I had played "Never Gonna Give You Up." Actually, at the Grand Ole Opry. Like, so I rickrolled the Grand Ole Opry. I don't think it's like such a weird curveball, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah. So
how'd you come up with that song to play that song?
Well, I mean, for one, I love the song. I'm a soulful singer, that more so than anything else. So, and I've always just loved that guy's voice, and it's such a fun song. And the fact that it kind of got resurfaced with the Rick Roll thing, how you're opening something and you think it's one thing, and then they show the video of that, and it's like you got Rick Rolled. That's what they call it. So, and we had practiced it at sound checks and stuff just to get a sound check. You know what I mean? And I jump out front and sing on the mics and get it going or whatever. And then he just kind of said, "What are we gonna do, boys?" And I was like, "Well, me and the band, we already got this song ready to go." So we just busted it out, and it was a lot of fun.
So there was a time period, right, between Twisted Method and so you did the TV show right?
Yeah.
And then after the TV show, it was before the TV show with Twisted Method that you were signed, right?
Yes.
And how long did you guys tour? And
we toured for a few years. We got the album done, and we toured on it on Ozfest. We played the second stage, and the second stage rotates, so you could play at 9 in the morning, and then the next day you play at 11 or whatever, and the next day, you guys just rotate through the whole entire tour. So, so we had played that, and after that tour, it's hard for me to remember everything, but yeah, so what happened was with that is MCA was bought by Geffen, and they had trimmed the fat. They just wanted the name. They didn't, so a lot of the artists got dropped on that. So after we had done our first record and done the Ozfest and went on tour with Static X and Dope and a bunch of other rock and roll bands and stuff, that we got the rug pulled from underneath us.
You toured with Dope?
Dope.
Oh, Dope. Okay.
Yeah. And so we kind of had the rug pulled up from underneath us, and then I had dabbled in a couple other bands like Makeshift Romeo and Bullet Saints, and there's a couple other projects I had put together. But the industry changed then, man, because everybody tuned their guitars up. Because I was playing like what you would call nu metal. It's low guitars. We were doing that kind of stuff, and then it went to White Stripes. Like White Stripes did to nu metal what like Nirvana did to hair metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just pulled the rug right out. So like either now it's tight pants, tune the guitars up. So I was like, okay, wait a second. So we tried to regroup, and we had put a couple projects together, and it was fun, and we have some videos out and stuff, but it just didn't really stick. And then that's when I moved to Chicago and actually lived what we call the Dope House. It's a band called Dope, and the producer Etzel, we had worked together on some stuff, and I'd been working with them for a few years. And he put me in that band, and I played bass for that band for 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
And then I got on that TV show from Chicago with my boy Chi-Chi, who was my roommate at the time. And we both went down to the audition, and we started arguing in the lobby. We're all waiting in the lobby, and me and him start arguing and grab, well, no, she's mine. No, she. So we're doing it on purpose, you know what I mean? They come out and go, "What's the commotion?" It's like, both of you guys, get in here. And then they started talking to us, and they casted us both.
Genius.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Brilliant.
Yeah. We just kind of like started arguing about her in the hallway.
Yeah.
Like it was all for fun. Like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's what I mean. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So, and he was kind of like the good guy, and I was the bad guy. You know, he's the soft-spoken one, and I was just like always up to something.
You're the sinister.
Right. So that's kind of where that came in line. And so we did that. I did that show, and it was a lot of fun, but it also kind of set me back as a musician a little bit, because it is hard to be taken seriously after you get off a show like that.
Yeah.
Which is not anything I'm used to. And these guys from the show and stuff, started getting notoriety and stuff, and, they're going, wow, you know what I mean? I've already been on the road and dealt with things, and I'm just like, hey, take it easy. But it was a wild ride. And then we had moved to Nashville after that.
And then I also know, and I I know it's been very recent. I'm not sure, but I think it's still may be going on. But you're syndicated across a lot of radio stations through iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Tell us about that and that journey.
Well, that was interesting because when I had moved to Nashville, Charlie started working with Big and Rich guys. So, and naturally he's like we're going to, like, you're my guy. Let's go. We're going to do this together, wherever you're going to be in, you're going to be in there. So that was, I got to shout out to him because he's always had my back, you know?
Yeah.
And so.
Shout out to Charlie Panaccio.
Yes, right.
Panaccio, Charlie, we love you, man. Wherever you are. Linear. Love that song.
So I had started DJing, and I really didn't DJ a lot. Like, I just was like, all right, if you're a music guy, you could pick it up. So basically, I started DJing the clubs down there, you know, while I was there, make some money, try to figure out what I'm going to do, songwriting, whatever. After John signed me for a publishing deal for songwriting, I just was in town and working on stuff. And John calls me up and he says, hey, I got this party at my house, his house. He's got a giant club in his house, basically. 2-story mezzanine. I mean, it's crazy. So he says, I got this party at my house and all the country radio people are going to be there.
And when you're talking about John Rich.
John Rich, yeah.
Just so everyone knows that, you know, all of our audience out there, John Rich of Big and Rich.
So he calls me up and he says, we have a big CRS party, you know, country music radio thing, all the program directors, everyone's going to be there. And they had their own thing going on because Big and Rich had cut a record, and, you know, he's like, come on, I'll take care of you guys. Had a big party for him, you know. Mm-hmm. And he says, you know, I need a DJ, I need you to DJ and stuff. He goes, it's going to be a country crowd, so maybe if you could do some. I was like, oh, okay. So I went home, and I had remixed about 30 or 40 country music songs with EDM underlining and the music bed of the most popular songs out, like, I can't even tell you, like Nelly songs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, and
cool.
so I had mixed those together.
Yeah.
And then I'm at his house at the party, and I'm doing what I do for Live Fest and just filling in the blanks, you know, in between. And the country radio people are going, what is this? They're like, we never heard anything like this before. And it was all the new stuff that was out. So, and then my manager, Charlie, was kind of like, And so he starts talking and spitballing to the guys. And it turned out, like, you know, they said, well, why don't you send us some of these remixes? We want to put them on the radio. So we said, okay, that's interesting. And so me and him ended up having the syndicated radio show, Country Fried Mix. So it was basically 20
That ran for a while, right?
Oh, yeah, it was like 8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and this is before country turned into what it is now, which already pretty much has all that now. It's got the sub bass, it's got the beats. It's like, it's kind of, this is before.
A little more poppy now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is before all that happened.
And mixing
really.
in some hip hop. Nelly's done couple songs now with country artists too, right?
Right. But before all that sub bass and everything came into country, like in the last 3 to 4 years, like this was kind of like a curveball for them, you know. So so we ended up putting the show together. It was 20 minutes. It was 5 or 6 20-minute mixes. So we would post them up, and then they would load them up, and then play them pretty much when they wanted to. I don't know if anybody knows that, but that's how the radio works. You know what I mean? So drive time or Friday and Saturday night, they would play these mixes, and it was just like, you know, what I do, Here for the Party mixed with like Apple Bottom Jeans, Get Low, like with the beat underneath it, and like people are just going, what is this? Yeah. So it blew up. It was. I mean, we were on like 70 stations, man.
That's huge, man.
To where like if we played a song, it was gonna move up on the chart.
Mm-hmm.
That's impactful.
You could move the needle on a song if it gets played.
70 stations, dude.
Yeah. So we put it in one song in there. It's playing on all of them at once. Like whatever time they're putting it on, it's going all over the place. So that was a good run, and that was a wild.
When did that end? 8 years is a long run. When did that end?
Probably
just 2 years ago or something like that.
A little longer, probably 5.
Okay,
5 years.
Okay.
I think it just it was taking too many chances for the country radio. It was taking too many chances.
Yeah.
Because it was just it was so out there. But I mean, we got really great responses from it. But like in the smaller towns, we're like, we don't like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't really hitting. I mean, now it's all like that. So if you're going to listen to country, you don't like that, you're going to have to put it on the oldies
Yeah.
country station, because that's all you're going to hear is.
So Sinister,
Keep
how
hearing the
long have you
pop
been
stuff.
touring with Big and Rich now?
12 years.
Wow.
Wow.
And for a country DJ, like, I mean, who needs a country DJ in the band? Like, so I feel blessed, you know what I mean? But I also
Sure.
play keys a little bit, sing, and, you know, help produce some stuff. And me and Charlie co-wrote and produced Cowboy Troy's album and produced it, you know, all the beats and everything. So I just always kind of been a part of the camp with John and Kenny.
What rounds out the show? I've watched some of your shows, and it's fantastic how it just rounds it out. It elevates the energy, the compatibility with all the guys. You feel the brotherhood when you guys are moving around the stage. Now that you've been doing it so long, it's like the whole show just is uplifted, you know, as a group, as a team. And that's really cool. And you're a big part of that. I mean, I watch how you get that crowd going, even in the middle of an existing song that's a hyped up song. You hype it to the next level, and then you hype the boys, and then the boys are hyped even more, and then everybody's working the crowd. And it's pretty fun to watch.
It is fun. It's been a pretty wild ride with those guys. And so basically, you know, I'll open up the show for 20 minutes and get the crowd going. So no matter what situation we're in, basically, in the middle of wherever we're at, like, it's just the bass comes in, the beats come in, they're kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah. And it's just been awesome. I mean, those guys, you know, they have like a Big and Rich have always surrounded themselves with interesting people. And, you know, as you know, if you've ever seen them touring.
Yeah. Steve's
You
going
got
for the
some-
hat.
You got some other talent, don't you? You want to talk about where this came from? And
I feel like
what-
Johnny Depp should be wearing one of your hats.
Yeah, he'd look good at one.
I think so.
tell us about the beauty of hat making and what this hat is all about and what it meant to you, and I'll tell you what it means to somebody else.
Well, COVID happened, and so I had came down to Florida, you know, to take a break from Nashville, because, I mean, it was just no gigs, no nothing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? What am I going to do? So I took off, and I came down here and started working and picked up that trait and started kind of messing with hats and figuring it out, and then it started popping a little bit. So during COVID and stuff, I had somebody else I was working with for a while, and we had started making hats, and it was pretty interesting how it came about. And then, you know, after a while, me and you hooked up for the Live Fest thing, and even my brother Dustin, you know, he was like, you know, would really look good on him, Steve. I was like, what's that? He's like, you gotta make him a hat, man. So
Sell these at Live Fest, Steve.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want these out into mass produced and out in the crowds. I like them unique and individualized. And what was really special for me was the first year we worked together at Live Fest, and after the show, we had an after party here at the Live Fest Club, aka the Jam Cave, and so Sinister and his brother Dustin, aka Diggs, came over and they presented this hat to me as a total surprise. I didn't know. They go, "We got something for you," and they gave me the hat. And what was really cool about it too was it has a Tom Petty, you know, playing card.
Okay.
In the corner. Is it on this side?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got this Tom Petty card, ordered it, and then hand burnt some holes into it to give it a rustic feel. And they presented it to me. The two Tribbett brothers presented it to me, and it was very special because it was unexpected, and you know it's a fantastic hat. I love the hat, and I love the edge.
Looks
And you know
good on
we've there's pictures on the walls here in this club. You can't see them because the way the cameras are with all of us wearing hats that they've made. At least, yeah, I think all of us were wearing hats when we were going out. And one of the best lines I ever heard from a bartender, we were at the cigar bar in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
And we're up at the bar, and the bartender says, "Can I take a picture of you guys?" And we said, "Sure." And I said, "But why do you want to take a picture of us?" Because she wasn't with our crew; it was just us. She said, "You guys look like you're off a movie set or something." She said, "You guys," and so she took a picture. That's the one that's up on the wall over there. If you look up on that wall, and so that was a great night. The other thing I think it's really kind of cool, and this is a connection that Derek and I have, and that is that before Live Fest, when we were rehearsing for the Tom Petty tribute, we'd have a session, like once a week for about, a month or something to get ready. And it was, put together with the mix and the sound that, that he put together for us. And while we were preparing for that, we'd have these sidebar conversations. So I had a friend who makes guitars for Slash. His name's Stephen McSwain Guitars. He's out of Portland, Oregon, amazing luthier. I've got a couple of his guitars. They're fantastic, but he makes guitars for Slash and a lot of other big players.
Okay.
And so he also makes these rings. I don't know if you could see these rings, Ricky, but he makes these custom rings. These are skull rings,
Those
right?
are pretty badass.
So I'm having a conversation, and if you notice, if you zone in on me, you'll see these rings here. And then if you can go ahead and zone in on him, you'll see the exact same two rings.
Skull Brothers.
So we are brothers, bonded by rings and more than that. But what was cool was he didn't know this. I'm having a sidebar with his brother, Dustin. And Dustin and I are talking, and I said, yeah, this friend of mine in Seattle, he makes these custom rings. You tell him the size, he makes them for you. And I said, what do you think about him? He looks at it, and he goes, Derek would love one of those. I said, I'm glad you said that because I wanted to do something for him for coming on Live Fest. He's been a part of Live Fest ever since that first year, and I said, I want to do something for him. I said, you think he'd like it? Would he wear it? And he said, dude, he will love that ring, and he will wear that. He goes, let's do it. And he didn't know this conversation went down. So the rings come in, and I go, I got something for you. And he goes, really, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I'll give it to you next time I see you. And I gave it to him, and I told him a story, that his brother was really the one that said, he would love it. He'll wear it. Yeah. And that's why I did it. So, and he's very close with his whole family. They're all musicians, but, that I know you were super close, to Diggs.
Yeah.
How long does it take to make a hat like that?
It takes days.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's not a week because you have to well, for me, I don't necessarily have all the tools I'm probably supposed to have. So it takes me
winging it.
Yeah, it takes me a little longer. If you steam up something and you're doing this and that, you got to put it away. Luckily, we're in Florida when I was making them, so I got to set them out in the sun to dry quicker, stuff like that. But, heat and sun will shrink things or whatever. So you got to be careful, how you do it. It's really crazy how we figured this out. But so it takes days because you got to put it down and let it stiffen, let it just do what it's going to do, and then come back. Because if you're messing with it, you could it'll be a piece of gum by the time you're done steaming it and stretching it. It's just so you got to let it sit still for a while. So it takes a few days.
Are you still making hats?
I am. But as a hobby for
special friends, special occasions,
and,
things like that. Yeah. Like I say, because I don't think you have time to be heads down on that, especially if you're touring and everything.
Yeah. It was a great thing to pick up
during COVID.
Yeah. So it was something artistic for me to do, and I was painting some stuff too, and that and it's been. I mean, it's a cool thing, man. No matter what, any day of the rest of my life, I can bust one out anytime I want. And when you're making these, it's from a piece of felt. You can ball it up and stick it in your pocket. Yeah. It's a piece of just, wool or beaver or whatever it is. It's just so it has to shape it. There's wooden blocks that you use and rope, and a secret stiffener that you put together, and steaming and drying and heating, and it's wild.
What's this picture mean to you? That's close up of that one.
That's one of me and you over at a Live Fest, rocking and rolling.
How do you like doing Live Fest?
I love it.
It's coming up, right?
That's right.
We're less than a month out of Live Fest here in Naples.
I know. I love it. I'm ready. I've been honored to be a part of it for every year since the beginning, and it's awesome, man. I mean, it's a curveball for Naples, a show like that out here, and on a golf course or whatever. I don't know how you. Well, I know how you pulled it off because you're Steve, but but yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and you guys, you've had some big guys playing too, man. So that's been really cool.
Yeah, it's been fun, and it's really super fun having you as a part of it. One of the things I think is really important, and I was remiss in not mentioning this earlier, but we're going to be treated with a live performance here tonight. DJ Sinister is going to do a unplugged but mic'd up version of Superstition, and I can tell you the crowd is in for a treat.
Yeah.
He has a vocal range that I know vocal ranges.
Yeah.
Mine starts at a lower level than, so I have supposedly a range close to 4 octaves. I would say this guy's at like 5 octaves.
Yeah, I've never tested that, but
well, I'm telling you, you've got a great range, and
Thanks,
he can
man.
hit some highs and he can hit some lows, and very talented.
We'll test it tonight.
Yeah,
that's right.
we're gonna.
And you've played all over, obviously, touring. Some favorite venues that stick out to you performing in across the country,
I mean,
the nation?
well, probably like the Midwest, the smaller towns in the middle of the country, because those people, they don't really get all the music all the time. So when they got something going on, they come out and they go crazy. So it's a lot of festivals and stuff playing out there. And
what's the biggest crowd that you guys have played to with Big and Rich?
Man, I'm really bad at. I mean, it has to be 50,000 or something, maybe, or
Where was that?
in the Midwest. I'm not sure.
Midwest
I'm not
somewhere?
sure what.
I've seen some aerials and some photos, that you've actually sent me. You're at, it's funny. He'll be touring and he'll like, hey, what's up? He sends me a text like him behind his DJ booth on stage and like shooting out to the crowd, or a video.
20,000 people.
Oh yeah, it's huge. You can't even see, like, you're like, how many people are there? And he's like, hell, I don't know. Just a lot is his answer. But I know crowds because I run a music festival.
Sure. You can
like
gauge.
Oh yeah, 30 to 50,000's not uncommon. 10, 15, but 30 to 50. He sent me videos of that.
I think the biggest show I've played was actually when I was in the rock band I was playing bass for, and it was some rock fest out in like Wisconsin.
You mean Twisted Method?
No, this was Dope. I was playing bass for.
Oh, okay.
And it was 100,000 people.
Wow.
Because the stage, the crowd
In Wisconsin.
I want to say Wisconsin, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I won't
but I know
hold
it was
you to
the
it, but
I was
Midwest somewhere. Sure.
It was probably over 20 years ago. I don't really know, but the crowd just went this, and then it went to the left, and it just kept going. I mean, it was a lot of people, and actually, Ron Jeremy introduced us, which was weird, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah, of film fame. I won't say
whatever
what kind of fame. Yeah.
Nobody wants to shout that guy's name out. I probably should have left that out.
Yeah. No, definitely a character.
Who had Ron Jeremy being mentioned on Live Fest Club today for 100?
Yeah,
see that coming.
I would have taken the over under.
Yeah.
I just remember that he did it. I don't really know too much other than that, but
kind of interesting.
Why did I even say that?
Wait, did
Rick celebrates his entire
Pat, you need to
catalog.
give me a kick on the
shout
leg.
out to Ron Jeremy. No, What did he announce you guys?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was kind of like,
That's wild.
I was just
I
kind of
can't
like,
picture like what's the
No.
connection there.
No.
there was no connection. He was
Maybe
there
he's from
probably drinking at this big rock festival, and
Someone noticed him.
I was like, hey, you want to introduce the band? But
Sure.
like I said, I was kind of like a side note to the band. I was just like a filler. I wasn't like part of the writing process. I was just a hired gun.
Yeah.
So I don't really know the politics of how that happened.
Yeah,
I just it's just a thought that popped in my head while we're sitting here talking about it.
Interesting.
That's so funny.
It was- but
Speaking
whatever.
of playing bass, some of your favorite all-time bass players.
Probably the bass player from my brother's band, Mudvayne, Ryan Martini. He's incredible. He's really, really good. He's got.
They're
like
pretty they're theatrical as hell too.
Yeah.
I mean the costumes and stuff. It's like, wow.
Yeah, he's got like a jazz. He's got like a fusion kind of way of playing, but playing in a band that's that heavy, it just pops out so interestingly. Like it's really cool, and that's that like mathematical rock where it's like the counts are like da 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 like Rush or something,
Yeah.
So and he does a lot of riding high and popping and pulling the string and like going back, like he's just incredible, and he's a great entertainer too. So that's probably one of my favorites.
What about some of your favorite all-time bands?
Well,
If you had to do a Mount Rushmore.
Oh man,
Or put 4
that's
bands up there.
That's such a hard thing.
I know.
That's such a hard thing.
That's why I asked the question.
You know, because I like a lot of the showmanship of it. You know, maybe not even so much of the Van Halen.
Yeah.
The overall experience.
David Lee
Def
Roth's got to
Leppard.
be one of the greatest frontmen of all time, right? In terms of just showmanship, stage presence.
Absolutely. You know, Queen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Freddie Mercury.
all the obvious is one. All the obvious ones, the undeniable stuff. Like,
Sure.
you know what I mean. And then another one is like I said, I like to sing soulfully. So you know, James Brown, Michael Jackson as a performer, and Prince and all that stuff. You know, I kind of got the Prince vibe with the boots and stuff going on over here.
Can you play basketball in them though?
Can I what?
Play basketball in them though. It's old Chappelle Show
I can't
reference.
play basketball anyway.
Ricky
so
got it. Chappelle
I can't
Show.
play basketball anyway. So
No.
just blouses.
Take a pass. Well, this is awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing you play. And I've seen you perform that song before, so really looking forward to seeing it here tonight. And it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I might be a little rusty, but we'll knock some dust off.
We'll do a few run-throughs, get you revved up. Super glad you came on the show.
I appreciate it,
Huge
man.
honor.
And really looking forward to seeing you again at Live Fest.
Oh, we're going to do it
December
up.
13th here in Naples, Florida, under the stars at Tiburon Golf Club in the Ritz-Carlton. And so you can get your tickets at livefest.com. It's almost sold out.
A few tickets still left, right? A few
yeah,
left.
not many. Yeah, not many. There's some GA left, and there's a handful in the pit, maybe 100 in the pit, but all the other experiences are all sold out. So
one of my favorite things is riding around with him on the golf cart around the festival.
Around the Tiburon.
Yeah. He's like, hey. We're
causing
rolling
trouble.
around. Yeah.
Avoiding squirrels, trying not to run over too many squirrels. But anyhow, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate
Pat,
it.
Steve, the boys.
There you go.
Episode 6 in the books.
It's a wrap.
Let's go.